I know a lot of you came in right out the gate and you had one of two sides that you were going to look at this video as soon as you hopped in, based on the title and based on the thumbnail. One side is, how dare you go off and say something as disgusting as what you said about Mr. Beast, or put out some video like this and you don't know who he is as an individual. The others of you are looking at that thumbnail and title and saying, damn it, he's right. That's exactly who this guy is. He's a horrible individual. And to both groups, I'd like to say, hey, thanks for stopping in and watching the video. But to the second group, I definitely say you are absolutely incorrect. But hey, welcome to the internet, where varieties of veritably venomous, vile, and vicious villains vying for validation and accolades will attempt to discredit individuals doing as best they can in the world of malicious, sarcastic, sadistic, and uncaring individuals. Like a pack of vultures, or better yet, trolls under a bridge, they await the next do-gooder come along and discredit everything that they do. And in this case, we are talking about Mr. Beast. And if you haven't heard about the drama that's going on in that situation, well, as you guys know, he recently put out a video titled "1,000 Blind People See for the First Time." And in doing so, it's caused a great deal of backdraft from, of course, who else, but a great deal of the trolls within the Twitter community and others throughout. It's become such a huge thing that I believe it's even gone newsworthy. And in fact, another YouTuber, we're going to take a quick look at the video they put out showing exactly some of the things that were being said.
Is Mr. Beast a disgusting, exploitive monster, or is he a hero? Or both of those arguments have been flying around the internet for over a day now. And that's because over the weekend, he uploaded a video titled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time, where we see him work with a surgeon to perform an operation on blind and partially blind people that would allow them to get their vision back.
They can't see, but we have all the technology to fix it.
Yep, half of all the blindness in the world is people who need a 10-minute surgery.
But the thing is, a lot of these people just don't have access to it or the money for it, even though it's life-changing. With a number of people sharing their stories to Mr. Beast and his team, one person in the video saying blindness stopped them from working, another saying he's never been able to drive a car, but this procedure changed all that. And of course, because it's Mr. Beast, he didn't just stop at the surgeries. He gave one guy a Tesla, others got money.
What does this say?
You just won $10,000.
Here you go.
Oh my gosh.
You also see him take this international with people from other countries also getting help, and in total changing at least 1,000 lives. And largely the response to this video has been very, very positive. People saying it's heartwarming, it's amazing, but also others saying things like, are we going to start celebrating people with resources giving back to people for entertainment only? He gave these surgeries to people who agreed to be in a YouTube video for him to monetize. How is that charity? And he just makes people dance on camera for basic human needs so he can make millions. As well as some that were split saying, he makes a good impact, but he does it in a borderline or maybe not borderline unethical way that benefits himself more than anyone he could ever help. Giving should be a selfless act.
Well, here was some of the online discourse, courtesy of Distractify, to give you a little bit of flavor of what people were saying. Quote, if Mr. Beast truly wanted to do something good and truly cares about disabled people, he would not monetize their suffering and make them tap dance on video just so he can slap it up on YouTube. I'm tired of having to perform gratitude for wealthy people just to stay alive. Others went even further. This person tweeted, there is something so demonic about this, and I can't even articulate what it is, and they've got screenshots from the video. Sticking with the satanic theme here, this individual really went all in, tweeting, he is literally the antichrist.
Now, at this point, the real question becomes, what is wrong with people? This is something that absolutely makes most lose any hope for the future, makes people lose hope in people as a whole. To have the audacity to come off and say that a guy who literally seems to want to make huge strides in changing people's lives, that he is the antichrist, there's something wrong with that. Monetization of something of this caliber, I think, can be looked at in a few different ways, but more than anything, the way that it should be looked at is this. Number one, someone took interest in something that most people probably don't think about on a daily basis, because we have the ability to see at all points in time. And even if you do have any thought in it, you may not have the means or resources to go out and actually help to change those situations for other people. In his case, he does. And beyond even just this video, if you take a look at the years past, as far as all of the Mr. Beast videos that have come out, it's always been a thing that, well, of course, initially in the very beginning, he started up just as nearly any YouTuber would start up. However, when he came into the financial graces he was given, he used it to try and change people's lives. I don't see anyone yelling and screaming about the fact that he gave away, he gives away millions of dollars in contests on the internet. And if that's what they're actually trying to say here now, well, guess what? If you look at it, you can look at it as any everyday common game show, things that most people watch as forms of entertainment. And in this case, that's what he was doing, was entertaining. And in that entertainment, giving people the chance to win millions of dollars. In other cases, he was simply giving things away, gave away a home to someone. What was so wrong with that? Someone who actually needed. Giving away multiple homes to families, individuals who needed. But in this very case, if you take a look at it, in advancing the knowledge of science, he decided that he wanted to help people see again. These are cases where the people actually had some hope, where it wasn't something that was absolutely, some form of genetic dysfunction at birth. This was something that could actually be changed. Now, I would advise you guys to absolutely take a look at the video that he put out, because it may give you a little bit more insight, while at the same time, hopefully giving you an understanding in the possibility of good that individuals can do with the resources that they have. Most people didn't have access to the funds in order to actually make something like this happen. From what I've seen, the average cost, and this could be off, but the average cost of the surgery that he paid for it was about $5,000, give or take. Now, is that the actual cost of the surgery itself? I don't think anyone really knows, because, again, most people do not take the time to look into things in that manner, because it doesn't actually affect them. But let's think about that. What if it did affect you? What if it was your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your significant other? Someone who actually has the ability to regain their eyesight, and someone comes to you and says, hey, you know what, listen, I have an interest in this. I want to use what I am able, or I want to use what I was given in order to help you and your family, in order to help this individual regain their eyesight, allow them to be able to drive again, allow them to be able to go back to work, allow them to see their loved ones. And there was one individual in there, the dad, the one thing he said was, the first thing I want to see is my son. He hadn't seen his son in years. And that was the first thing he wanted to see. If you think by any means that that individual who is willing to go out and take his resources that he's earned over the years in entertaining you all on the internet, not only take those resources and reinvest them into the videos he puts out, but to go out and help people and change the world, if you think he's the antichrist, boy, then there's got to be something darker, because I know quite a few people who would fit that role. Instead of actually giving some form of accolade to an individual who, yes, maybe he does get some form of self-gratification, okay, in doing the good that he does. But who doesn't? Who really doesn't? We like to say that it should be a thing where we're selfish by taking some form of gratification within the actions that we do that are good for others. But the fact is, a great deal of time, that's all that there really is. At least I know I did something to move something forward, to help another individual that was in need. It's not being boastful in the extent of, oh, I can do this, I'm the greatest person on the earth. No, it's simply a matter of actually doing something, you get that fulfillment, and then you move on. We didn't even see all 1,000 of the people that he actually helped. Some may have actually said that they didn't want to be recorded. Some of the family members may have said that they didn't want to. It wasn't a matter of forcing them to do so, yet he still went ahead and actually did it. Now, of course, we can always say that, It's got to be a thing of, to limit the time on the video itself in order to make it more friendly to the algorithm on YouTube. So be it. That's fine. But then let's also talk about the fact that this isn't the only type of philanthropic thing that he's done. He actually has another channel, Mr. Beast Philanthropy. I think a lot of people fail to actually, realize that that's the case because, of course, the viewership and the subscriber count is much higher on the normal or first channel that he has versus the philanthropic channel because of the fact that it may not be as entertaining to them. For individuals like this who go out and actually take their hard-earned resources, I don't care if they want to actually put it out to the public in such a graceful way or in doing what it is that they normally do. This wasn't as if this was some individual who does normally, comedy videos and then all of a sudden decided to go out on the streets and hand out, $50 here or there with a hidden camera off in the background to homeless individuals. No, this wasn't that case. This is an individual who lives his life seemingly through his videos. As again, I will say this, I don't know him personally, but everything that I've seen from him seems to come from a genuine place of wanting to make the world better, to want to bring some form of hope or happiness to individuals, to give them chances that they may not have, to give back based on everything he's received. Is there anything wrong with that? If you say this is one of those good intentioned acts that leads down the road to hell, well, guess what? I'd love to follow in those footsteps because the fact of the matter is, no matter what you believe, 1,000 people can now see who couldn't see prior. 1,000 people have been giving a sense or some resemblance of normalcy to a life that they just didn't have for quite some time. In one of those cases specifically, his entire life. All because someone decided to take what they had earned, what they had accumulated, and went out to change the lives of said individuals. I hate to say it, some of you all are too cynical. Absolutely too cynical. I understand we have to be on some form of guard and watch out for certain things here and there, but that's one of the greater problems we have as human beings. We have zero trust and zero faith in others. And a greater deal of time, people would prefer to see individuals who do good fail. That is a very sad and cynical way to live. This isn't the first time he's come into a situation where people have, spoken down on him. This isn't that, I don't think, as far as the whole cancel Mr. Beast thing that happened a few years ago. I don't think it's that far. This, again, is just a bunch of trolls with very cynical ideas, with very piss poor takes, going out and being exactly that. Trolls in a place where their anonymity actually feels as a safeguard. Also, where they can actually link up with other trolls of the same mindset who want nothing more than to have their 15 minutes of fame. That's all I mean, there's so much more that I can get into on this topic, but I want to keep this video not just short, but allow you all to go ahead and take the time. If you haven't seen it, I believe everyone should have. If they haven't already, go ahead and take a look at that video and the other opinions of individuals who are online who've spoken about this. And it's an absolute crazy thing to me that on at least this very thing, Hassan Piker and I actually do agree. I don't see this as a thing where he's taking advantage of these individuals. I truly look at it with the mindset of, this is a young man who's growing up, who's finding interest in things that are beyond the realm of what he possibly could have if it hadn't been for the ability to gain the financial security that he has. And at this point in his life, he's doing the one thing that I think more people should do. Go ahead, when you have everything, find a way to give back to those who helped put you in the spot that you're in. But hey, please go ahead and leave your comments, your ideas, your thoughts on this. Most definitely like the video and subscribe. Hey, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.